Hello, everybody. Happy Sunday afternoon. It is November 24th if you're watching me live. If not, hello if you're watching on replay. I'm so glad you're here. We are going to do a little bit of watercoloring technique with a few different coloring mediums today. I'm very excited. I have all sorts of things from the left to the right and off to the side for us to use. Um, we're going to go through a couple of different techniques, and it is not because I am an expert, it is because I am not an expert. And you can still have fun when you're not an expert. Okay. So if you're like me, you are a paper crafter and you dabble from time to time in our watercoloring products. And every time I do, I think this this is more and more of my favorite every time. So I'm really glad to see all of you. Hello to those of you popping on. Holly, Jeanne, hello. Sorry, I came on a few minutes late because I was having a sneezing fit. So I hope that doesn't start again. um, it just happens sometimes. It always seems to happen right before you go live. So anyway, hello, hi Jean, how are you doing? I hope you've all had a great weekend so far, and we are coming towards the end of it. But it's a beautiful day today. Very chilly though, very blue and bright, but chilly. Yesterday, nothing but rain. So that's November for you, right? If you are new here, I welcome you. I am Lisa Harden coming to you live from the Stamping Zoo in a beautiful Boise, Idaho. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and one of the things that means is that I sell all of the beautiful products we'll be using today. With rare exception, I will tell you if there's anything retired. But so come on in, settle in, have a little stamping, a little chatting. And as I said, today we're going to focus on a couple of watercolor techniques. All right. So just for sure, pipe in and tell me if you have the products I'm using or if they're on your shopping list. Maybe they'll be on your shopping list at the end of this video. And if so, you can always shop with me at thestampingzoo.com. Hit the Shop Now tab, or there is a link in the description below this video. So thank you so much. I also have a really fun special going on that makes your shopping experience much more pleasurable. And we will talk about that in just a few minutes. I better plug that in. Or it's not going to work. 1 minute. Okay. I have Cash surveying me from the hallway. And I don't know. Is he expecting to go live? I'm not sure. So here we are, less than a week from Thanksgiving, right? For US people. And it's later than normal. Well, I don't know if it's later than normal. Every once in a while, it's just the last week of Thanksgiving. I just spilled that on me. Lovely. Well, it is watercolor day after all. May as well get started soon. Okay, everyone. You know what? First of all, I want to bring on the Stampin' Zoo shopping page so I can show you where some of these products are, just to get you familiar with them or reacquaint you with them if you haven't used them recently. They're for all seasons and all reasons, so I think you should always have them in your stash. And the watercolor products and techniques are very fun if you, or I say especially when you are just wanting to do something a little different and a little new. I find the coloring definitely brings me joy. And so this is just like an extension of that, really. Okay. I am going to pop you in. Let's present screen. 1 moment. Okay. And so here we are, and you will see I'm up there near the flag. A little teeny picture of me kind of smashed into a circle. That's okay, because it says shopping with Lisa Harden at the top. So that's good. We're good to go then. If you are in the United States, you can shop with me. First thing I want to show you is if you click on menu over here, and then how about shop products? And how about kits collection? And how about crafting kits? One of the newest kits we have is called Nature's Paintings Kit. I'm going to be working with it today. It's very fun. And so it comes with a stack of 24, 28 watercolor papers. And then let's see, I will tell you 24 watercolor pages, two each of 12 different designs. And there's actually a couple of pages in the back that are blank for you. Okay. A water painter, as you can see there, and then 8 watercolor pencils. And it's a great place to start. It's all inclusive, just add water. Okay. And then away you go. Actually, you don't even need water if you just want to color with the pencils. The pencils work on their own or with water, and we will be using them with water today. The other thing, trying to be very careful with my keyboard because we are working with water. And so I am trying to keep the water and the electronics separate. That is one thing you need to know. Now, if you would like to add more to your water painter selection, we have a an item that is 151298. For $13, you can get 3 water painters with 3 different brush heads, as you see here, like a bold, a medium, and a fine. Okay, and those are fantastic. And Fluid 100. This is our watercolor paper. All right. It is, I believe it's 5x7. Yeah, it's 5x7. I just cut it in half and make 2 card fronts that are 3.5x5. That's a good size. And anyway, so that is really all you need to start with. And then you should have some sort of coloring tools. Okay. And so we'll go through those too. So don't you worry. Oh, I need to stop sharing now. Okay. Don't you worry. I will show you some other things that you can either pull from your stash or use what you have or take a little shopping trip. Okay. Actually, before I bring that on, let me just show you this. So when you are shopping with the Stamping Zoo, I thank you so much for using this host code that is at the top of this page right now, starting with the number 3. When your orders are under $150, please apply this code. It helps me to gather some extra benefits so I can bring new products to you here every week. And I so thank you for that. But if your order is $150 or more, please do not add the host code because I want you to earn your own host benefits, which begin at 10% and go up from there. And thank you so much for each and every order. Now, here's the little special deal I'm running right now. So for each and every order that you are currently placing, you could get a mystery box sent to you. And the mystery box will be full of a variety of my gently used or new retired Stampin' Up! Product. And it'll include the whole range of things that we have. Okay, kits, punches, inks, markers, dies, embellishments, lots of designer series paper too. And I won't be counting the total of the designer series paper. That's kind of a freebie. Okay. So the value is based on the product's original retail price. You must apply the current host code or you will not get the box, and 1 box per customer, please. But it's going to be so fun. So as long as you shop with the Stamping Zoo and use the host code, I'll be giving you all sorts of freebies. A beautiful product. It's only probably 2 years old at the most. Okay. So if you spend $50 with me, that is before shipping and tax, you get $80 worth of free product in your mystery box. If you spend $75, I'm going to send you $110 in your mystery box. And if you spend $100, you're going to get $150 in your mystery box. Okay. It's so fun. And so I have products. I showed some different products that are going to be in the mystery boxes on Thursday night. So you can look back to that if you want to see. But trust me, they're just good quality, all Stampin' Up! Products. And like I said, probably from the last couple of years, I don't have any wood blocked stamps, nothing like that. Okay. Just good current things. Most are used, but in great condition. Some are new. Okay. On Thursday night, also, I showed you all sorts of products from the new pre order open to demonstrators. The products I showed go live to customers on January 7th. You can easily get yourself into the pre order category by going on to thestampingzoo.com, hitting the Join the Zoo Crew tab, and signing up. And then what happens when you get your starter kit is you purchase $125 of product for only $99 plus tax. And then after that, for 7 months, you get to shop with at least a 20% discount with no amount of minimum. Okay. You just get to enjoy getting the early order products. You get to enjoy all of my online content for free. And as I said, you get that discount through April 2025. Okay. And so feel free to use this link, type in this link that you see right now if you want to sign up. Or again, there's a link down in the description. You can also go to thestampingzoo.com and hit the Join the Zoo Crew tab. And we are ordering right now in pre order. We are available, or we are able to get online exclusives, products from the January to March 2025 mini catalog, and we are earning celebration rewards at this time. For every $60 or $120 purchase, we get to choose something absolutely free that is only available to be earned, not purchased. Along with that, you do not earn celebration rewards with your starter kit because the starter kit is its own crazy discount deal. But after that, then you get to earn the celebration rewards, and you earn celebration rewards. So for customers, it's $60 or $120. For demonstrators, we earn a celebration reward after every $60 purchase, less our discount first. So you don't really pay actually 60 real dollars for it. Okay. Please keep that in mind. It is the best deal always. Okay. And of course, I would love to have you on my team. Everybody is welcome on my team. And I have special team events and things like that that are just for Zoo Crew members. So I'd love to have some of you start earning that discount. Okay, for my one of my classes in December is an online kit through the Zoobilee Crafty Kit. You can purchase this as a subscription or a 1 month purchase. It will feature these sketched butterflies. These will be all occasion cards, very beautiful, bright, different techniques to color those butterflies. You will need to own the Sketch Butterflies bundle to design or to make the cards as designed. However, if you like to have a kit sent to you with designs, you can use anything you'd like. You can use something from your stash or another bundle you'd like to have. The kit itself includes about $25 of product and supplies, current product and supplies, and you get 5 card kits and 1 project kit. You can craft along with me whenever you'd like because you receive exclusive access to tutorial videos and a color PDF with photos and access to me if you have questions. All right. So again, the links are down below. All you have to do is choose whether you would like to sign up for the month-to-month subscription or just a single month subscription. And there is a goodie bag available if you stay for 6 consecutive months using the subscription option. So please keep that in mind. December Stamp Camp. This is the last in-person event for the Stamping Zoo for this year. It is Saturday, December 7th at 10 a.m. We will make 4 cards using beautiful Stampin' Up! Product. Class is free with a minimum order of $25, or you can pay $20. And you do not pay or order until the day of the event. The Bon Appetit Club, we've talked about this a lot. It's been very popular and it's very fun. So this is a subscription kit as well. You receive a little kit each month to make a recipe card, which is 5.5 by 8.5. Lots of pieces and parts. I have shown this a couple of times. There's also on my website, you can go over there, sign up to receive your own kit. It is $10 per month. That includes your shipping. And this includes just a written tutorial. It doesn't include a video. It's not necessary. And all the pieces and parts that you need, as well as occasional recipes. Okay, so that's really fun. And again, if you want more information on that, I don't remember if I have a link, but just go to the Stamping Zoo and hit the Bon Appetit tab. Finally, if you are going to find yourself at Onstage in Raleigh in March, please think about signing up for my Onstage Avid Level Swap. I am swapping full cards, 3D projects, or both. And you can just oh, let's see. I do have that link in the details. You can also just private message me if you have any questions or if you want me to sign you up. You can also find this information as an event over on the Facebook group for Onstage. All right. I think that's all the zoo news I have for you today. So let's get to it, shall we? Let's just do a little watercoloring and see what we can make with all these watercolor projects. Hello, Tony and Ethel. Very nice to see you ladies coming in. And so you can see I have some supplies out already. I have the glass mat and I have the silicone mat. These come together along with a chamois. It's called the Glass Mat Studio. It is $60. It is orderable on the website. Just type in glass mat and it will pop up, and it's fantastic. And you know, I've been using it for over a year now. Whenever it became available to demonstrators, I bought it, and then I really haven't stopped using it. It's great. I feel like it is a great surface for stamping and of course for watercoloring. It's really going to come in handy. If you don't have it, you know, have a stack of grid paper handy, and that still works. But this is far superior when you're using water. Kathy Sanford said she can't wait for the second Bon Appetit Club. Oh, yay. And she did the first one the day it arrived. That's most important, is like, if you're going to have the most fun with it, make the cards, okay? Don't let them sit on your shelf and get a stack of 10 kits. That's no fun. That's no fun at all. All right, I have a handful of the brushes. Here's one that is, I don't know, I couldn't find my medium bristle brush in the current formulation. So here's one that is, it's a retired one, and that works too, right? They still work. So anyway, I have it here. This is the widest one. It's great for watercolor washes. And as you can see, I was using it with blue today. And the colors will fade a little bit. And of course, I used some strong red. So what do I want to say? The bristles will stain a little bit, but the colors can wash out completely. So don't worry about that. All right, let's talk about, what do I even want to start with? Let's talk about the Nature's Paintings kit first, all right? Because it's all inclusive. Let's say you don't have anything to watercolor with. You can purchase this kit for $25 and you can have a lot of fun with it. And it really is my pick for the holiday season because it's a great gift for $25. Come on, that's only a few, you know, you could buy a coffee card. That's only a few mochas. You're not going to get nearly as much fun. And who needs all that sugar anyway? Famous last words. So here is the front of the instructions for the Nature's Painting Kit. It also gives you a link to Stamping Basics and detailed instructions for the kit. Really don't need a lot of detailed instructions for this kit, but it'll still give you some tips and tricks. And so it kind of just shows you the different colors that they use to get the different patterns and whatnot. Now, please keep in mind that with every watercolor pencil comes all different shades, right? Light to dark. So it depends on the pressure you apply to your paper and how often you might go over patterns as to what kind of coloring you will get. And this is the handiest little thing. It's like a little artist's palette. You can feel like a real artiste carrying this around. And I'm not going to show you all the patterns, but there are 2 of each. And I do believe it's on our fluid watercolor paper. It's on some watercolor paper that's beautiful. These are already printed, so you don't have to stamp them. we have we're going to do that too. We're going to stamp our own direct from our own stamps, but these are just patterns that they made for us, and they're all botanicals from all different seasons. Okay, and so they can be card fronts or really anything you wanted to use them for. They could be postcards. I think they'd make really charming postcards, except I wouldn't want anybody to write on the front of them, the, the mailman or whatever. I think I'm going to color on this one a little bit. I have already colored on the poinsettia, whichever you prefer. But, okay, so see in the back then, there's just a couple of blank pages, which is very nice. And so anyway, I already colored on two of the poinsettias because the first one was kind of my sample. I shouldn't have done that, but I did. And so here is what it looks like so far. We are going to make a few adjustments, but this is how I've watercolored it so far. And I will also show you how I got these little silver embossed berries, because since my poinsettias were red, I didn't want to color the holly berries red as well. And so I actually made them silver embossing. It's kind of, I'm always futzing with the light around here, aren't I? But anyway, the light looks a little strange, but rest assured, that is silver embossing. There we go. Oh, there we go. The camera says, whoa, mama. Okay. So, yeah, thank you. And we're going to make a huge 5x7 card out of this, a real statement piece. Okay. First, let me just show you. Now, there's that beautiful set of 8 watercolor pencils in here, but I already have a lot of watercolor pencils. Here's the watercolor pencils. And actually, I'll show you, we have 2 different assortments of watercolor pencils that you can buy right off the website. Okay, just type in pencils or watercolor pencils, and there are 2 different assortments of various colors. I believe these are the 2 assortments, plus a couple from days gone by. Like, there was one in here that was Rich Razzleberry. Well, I love Rich Razzleberry. I'm not getting rid of it, but it's a retired color. So if you ever see me using that, that's why. Most of them are marked on right on the spine here, what they are. This one is not, and I know that this came in an early kit. And so they didn't mark them. It was from years ago. But still, the pencils are great. So they last. Don't worry. They will last a long time. Now, you may have your desk set up exactly opposite because I'm left-handed. So if this looks odd to you, or if you set your desk up this way and then you realize that's weird, well, I'm not weird, but I am left-handed. Okay? So just keep that in mind. Set it up how you like it. All right. And so with this, let me just show you the technique that I use, okay, for coloring with watercolor pencils. First, I'm going to grab, like, let's do the yellow and the orange and which is this cherry cobbler. Let's use these colors to color a leaf. All right. And so I am not taking this, I mean, I'll take it from nature in my mind, but I'm not following a real leaf. I am just coloring the way I want to blend the colors. So there's often times when you color, right, there's like a point and then you shave it down to this wider angle. I can't see it on the pencil, but trust me, you want to kind of get it down to where it's like a soft, you can color softly. And right now I'm coloring pretty intensively. So we're going to get a really dark yellow around that spine. And then let's see, maybe I want to do it softer down here. Just trying to show the differences. Also, you do not have to color the image completely. In fact, it's probably not a great idea to start by coloring it completely. Okay, now I'm just going to bring some orange in. Jean says she gave her granddaughter the colored pencils. So you don't have any of your own. So you have to borrow your granddaughter's. Okay, well, that's all right. Or, Jean, you could buy the Nature's Paintings kit, and then you could just have the 8. That would get you really far down the road. And but we'll be using other techniques besides the watercolor pencils. Okay. And then this is the cherry cobbler, right? And so I'm just, again, just kind of bringing it in here, adding some color. I'm trying not to make harsh lines in it because those are going to stay unless I put a lot of water on the paper. And so let's just see what it looks like. Okay. I had no plan for that, no rhyme or reason. And so now these barrels, you can fill them with water. You can see this one's filled with water, right? And then when you push on it, water comes out. And also gravity helps the water come out. I kind of like to have a little more control than that. So I often will just use an empty barrel. See, this one doesn't have any water. And then I'll just use it traditionally. But the cool thing is you can choose whichever way you like. And then, of course, since I have this little silicone mat, I can really control the amount of water. And then just like magic, it's just coloring. And I'm going to come up this spine. And whenever I think I need more water, or whenever I'm changing over to a color for right now, and I don't want to saturate it with yellow, I'm going to bring in some more water. And now we're going up into the cherry cobbler, and then I'm dragging it back down. So it's coming into those areas that didn't have color, and it's bleeding into the other areas of the different colors. Okay, and that's like, this is how we're starting. Okay, so you can see it still has water. And now I'm going to fine tune it a little bit. I kind of want to wash out some of that yellow that was in the middle. And so oftentimes you will decide to pick up some of the color. Like I put too much down. I'm heavy handed. We know that. And so um, it doesn't matter with watercolor. There's so many ways to take out some of the color. And so I'm going to do that a couple of times. And then if I color right now, it's going to lay down a lot of orange. And so I am going to go over to a nut. And, oh, that's crushed curry. I'm not in love with that. Let's just do what's this color? Cajun Craze. Okay. Let's do some Cajun Craze up here on the cap of the acorn and see what it looks like. And so one of the techniques when you're watercoloring is if you want to keep the colors from merging together, I'll think of the proper word for that, then color an image, let it dry, and while you're letting that dry, then go off to some other image, okay? So that's how you get that going. Now look, I'm going to add this wet to the wet paper, and you can see how it's kind of streaking down there. Whoops. And so now I'm going to drag this and create a lot of color up at the top with just a little more down at the bottom there. All different techniques, right? Nothing's wrong. And a lot of things you can redo several times with watercolor paper. I will show you some kind of revision we're going to do on those poinsettias in a minute. Now, this is early espresso. I feel like it's going to be quite dark. So I just want to lay down a little bit, and then should have actually used a different camera for you guys. Let me see just a minute here. If I can, let me take this away. Let me see if I can do this. I might lose you, but I hope not. Okay, I don't want to lose you. So let me see if I can do settings and camera and do a wide camera. That's better. Okay, now let me see if I can go back on stage. God, if I can, I'm going to feel like Martin Scorsese. Yes. Look at that. Okay, a little bit closer for you. Just call me Martin. All right. And so anyway, this is how you kind of get a feel for it, and then you decide like how you like these images. Like the leaf, I can be like, oh, I definitely want more orange in my leaf. And so now that it's dried a little bit, now I'm coming in with more pressure because I've kind of got the feel for it, right? I saw what the color looked like, and I'm like, okay, I need a little more orange and whatnot. Okay. So we're not going to color this entire image right now because we are working on Christmas things. But um, that would be how I would proceed in any project. Okay, so let's go back to the poinsettias now. This one's mostly finished. It's how I like it. And but the I feel like the holly leaves I was light with. And so I'm going to bring my garden green back in because remember you can color and color and color, right? You can use blends on watercolor paper. Yeah. That the solution in the blends absorbs, right? But you can still use it. Yeah. And okay, so let me start down here because actually I already know the sentiment is going to be down here and is going to hide these things. So this is where I can easily test and see how much darker I want these. I want a little more. I feel like they're blending into the pool party background too much. So I need a little more contrast between the green and the pool party. The pool party already has a lot of green in it. I think that looks better than, let's say, here. This actually has green on it. It's just very light. So here's what I'm going to do then. And I can't do all of them because I already embossed over a lot of these. And I am going to show you how I got these little dots of silver embossing. It was really fun. I just started thinking outside the box. Okay, it's not our standard stamping with Versamark. It's still with Versamark, but it's not stamping. I used some other tool to get these little round dots of Versamark. I believe there is a Versamark pen you can buy. You can't buy it from Stampin' Up, and I don't have it. So I was like, I think I can make something else up that we would like. And sure enough, I found something that was right on point. Okay, so here I go. I'm just going through all the leaves, and with garden green, I am applying more color. I'm still trying to keep away from adding any harsh lines, but I'm definitely giving them more color, which is more appropriate than what I usually do, which is go in heavy handed and then try to take away color. It's a lot easier to do it this way, right? So let me get this in, and then we're going to come around with the paintbrush. And did you know that this is not really a flower? These are leaves too, the red part. It's very interesting about poinsettias. And also, I'm sure you know, poinsettias come in so many different colors now. Um, they have made certain designer poinsettias. The one I really liked, but I haven't bought any recently, but the one I really liked was I think it was called Candy Stripe or Candy Cane, and it had feel like it was white, and then it had red streaks coming up from the centers and then out. Very popular in the poinsettia world. Okay, and so let me make sure first of all that this one was red for quite a while. Okay, there we go. Because I painted a Santa, and so he was quite red. Okay, so now I'm just going to come through these. And again, I'm applying more water because that's what you can do with watercolor paper is you can go over things several times. I am going to try and avoid going over the poinsettias again themselves because I like the way they look. But if I touch them a little bit, it doesn't ruin anything. I'm also going to avoid dragging my hand through the leaves that are already painted. and so on. Here, let me get some more towards the edges of that one. And then it's very fun. I don't know. I just find this very fun. It definitely, I was talking to my mom about this morning, and it very much reminds me of the activity books that I had when I was a kid. I had dried paint on them. And then, of course, you came through with a crappy little paintbrush that they supplied. And, watercolored and everything looked kind of crazy. But it was still very fun. And I think it's so interesting that the mind seems to remember this action, this like actual movement. And so when you come back in at 55 and you're coloring like this, it takes you right back to when you were 5 doing something very similar. So I consider this kind of meditative. Now, not of course when I'm talking with you, but like when I was doing it this morning, it was a very peaceful, nice time. And so I hope you guys find that in your crafting as well. Yes, Jean, they are poisonous to cats. She says her friend almost lost her cat. That's horrid. Yeah, they're no good for kitty cats. So there we go. And we know that cats like to chew on greenery, generally. I'm sure there are ones that don't, but if you're ever wondering, just don't. Just don't get it. Okay, it already looks, you can see it even from down there. It already looks more like I wanted it to look, right? There's more of a definition between the green and the pool party. The pool party, in fact, is my light pool party stamp and blend. So you can mix different things. Like I think Jean mentioned using the blends, the blender pens, or the blends with the watercolor. And so all of this outline is light pool party stamp and blend marker. Okay. And so, yep, you can color on it. And you can also use blender pen. I know it seems confusing, but you can use all of those things on the watercolor paper. It does soak up more of the blend marker. Okay. So just keep that in mind. But that's what this looks like. And then let me hit this with the heat tool. So also when you're working in between stages of laying down color, if you want to kind of hasten the process, then you'd bring your heat tool in. And I'm being careful because some of those things are already embossed, right? But I want to just work down here. Again, this corner is going to be covered with a sentiment, but just so I can show you what I used to get embossing in little circles. Here's what I did. First of all, you have to make sure that that's dry. We're going to pretend that it's dry. It feels very dry. Now I need, oh, it's over here. I told you I had things all over the place. Now we're going to go through the regular process. Okay, so embossing buddy. Lay a little embossing buddy down, get your anti-static powder down. All right, and then we're going to bring in a Versamark pad, and I want you to grab this thing. You remember what this thing is? It's a stylus tool. It comes with the take your pick tool. All right. And I put, just like our classic Stampin' Pads, Versamark has a re-inker. See, I've put some in there. And so this is now my palette for Versamark. I am going to dip the stylus, this little round stylus, into the Versamark. You can't see it, it's clear. And then that's how I'm making these holly berries. Okay. So I am just, every time I'm giving it its own Versamark. And I think when I did these up here, I used the larger stylus. And so they were a little larger than I wanted. And so now I can show you. That's the smaller. And then make sure you cover this up. It's okay if a little of that stays in the lid. Okay, hon, let's see here. For the amount I'm going to do, Oops. I'm going to bring in some paper. And this is what I'm going to use for holding our embossing powder. And then I'm going to hold the embossing powder. Now, again, some of it might stick to those leaves because the leaves are still a little bit wet. No, I think we got away with it. So its powder is laid down here, just like we always do. Okay, and then let's heat this up and see what we can see. Oh yeah, I like the smaller ones better. Of course, they're going to be covered up, but that's fine. I mean, the person I make it for isn't going to know. But anyway, that's how I got those little dots. Like, yeah, the smaller stylus is the way to go if you want to do this technique on this print. I am just full of tips and tricks. Just call me the trickster, right? The tipster. Yeah, I like tricks. The trickster is better and probably more accurate, let's be honest. Okay, my heat tool. You can also purchase this, right? You know where, thestampingzoo.com. And it's for heat embossing, for these techniques, for all sorts of fun stuff. Just remember to unplug it when not in use, okay? All right, now this is where you really don't want the water, but I want to kind of show you like how you can finish off some of these projects. So now we have this and we've like made the colors a little more vibrant. And I have a 5x7 card base in cherry cobbler. All right, and then here's the insert. And it was quite large. And so I thought, well, I'm going to ink blend a little bit of cherry cobbler on the base of it. And you just kind of put it together. These sentiments are from the Peaceful Season stamp set. And the label that I used to stamp the sentiment on is actually from Autumn Leaves, all current. I just went through my dies and I found one that perfectly fit the sentiment that I wanted on the front. And again, the stamp set is called Peaceful Sentiments. Is that right? God, after I just said that, I think it is. Anyway, that's what it's called. And okay, so then this is going to go right down here. And so it ties in, I feel like it ties in the pool party from the rest of it. Now, once I have a piece of watercolor paper and we've worked on it a while, it's kind of warped, right? Tear and tape is your friend here. Tear and tape is a really good way to get this stuck down. Seal Plus, I don't know. I think Seal Plus is going to rip up because watercolor is like pressed layers of paper and it's not compressed as much as our regular cardstock. And Seal Plus sometimes rips up our regular cardstock. So I would say just stick with tear and tape or liquid glue. But I think you're going to have to weight it down a little bit with a block or a book or something, just for a little bit, just to make sure it really adheres. And also, we're doing this right now when the paper isn't even fully dry, right? Because we were just watercoloring on it. So there are spots in this paper that need a little more time. But for what we're doing today, I could put it right down. And this is not going to go in an envelope. You can definitely make an envelope. I'm not going to make the envelope for you here. You can make an envelope with our supplies. We also have a retired envelope punch board. If you can find that online, or maybe you still have it. Okay. So just keep that in mind. There's lots of different options for making an envelope for this. This will just be a card that goes into a box on top of a gift for me. Now, I cut this so it has a nice wide border around it, but I need to make sure that I'm getting it here. Let me do it this way. So I'm looking at this side, right? And so let me make sure I can get that even. Okay. Oh my goodness. Look at that. Really is starting to show off, isn't it? It shows off. It's showy. It's going to be eye-catching. And then think about how fun it is when you tell your friend or your mom or whatever, "Yep, I colored that. I did." Then you can say, "Look at the embossing." You can show out all the little things. How I've been playing with any of the new products, not since Thursday night, Jean, because I have other stuff going on. Um, Yesterday, I didn't do any stamping, which is kind of an oddity for me, but um, I got my nails done, my hair did, right? I got, oh, shoot, you guys, I put this on upside down. Dang it. I mean, we don't know that, but okay, well, I'm going to fix that later, but just pretend it's on right. I will cut this off and redo it. Um, okay, this is what the cards would look like. Oh, I think it's so fun. Even in this weird lighting, I think it's very nice. And so I hope you guys like that idea. Because again, it's like a special card. Friends and family are the true gifts of Christmas. And then thinking of you with warm feelings and a wish for all the merriest. Okay, I hope you love that card. I feel the same, Jean. I love cherry cobbler too, but definitely at Christmas time. It looks delicious and rich, and it's red, but better, right? Okay, so now we've done like um, a very controlled situation with our watercoloring, right? With the kit and with the pre-printed pages, and we love it. And so now maybe we're ready to do a little bit more. Okay. And so here's the sentiment set. Actually, peaceful season. Yes, I was right the first time before I thought about it. So it has all these great sentiments. Okay, so now this is the So Very Merry stamp set made for coloring, right? And in this particular instance, it's I think it really shows off well as kind of a faux stained glass. Yeah. Um, so let me show you how I got these the way they are. Now I am using a retired product here. You don't have to though, but I just thought I wanted to. It's a sparkly black embossing powder that we had a few years ago. So the sparkles that you see there around in the black part, they're embedded in the embossing powder. Just use black embossing powder, okay? It works just fine if you don't have that older product. Okay, and also I'm using a Stamparatus. Many of you have this. If you do not have a Stamparatus, a couple of options. There are still lots of them on the aftermarkets, Etsy, and various Stampin' Up! Retired websites. But you can also use a MISTI precision placement tool. Any kind of precision placement tool works great for this. And so you can see I already have my 2 stamps set onto the plate. And we don't need that in there right now. It's just causing me more problems. So I'm going to show you how I stamped these. Again, this is embossing, right? And so, but I wanted a nice dark, I wanted nice dark lines. So, hello, Roxanne. Yes, hello. Jenny says if you have your heat tool, use it to get the adhesive to get it removed. Oh, yeah. You can heat up your adhesive if you need to move it around. Good idea. Okay, so since we're doing the same steps, even though it's in the Stamparatus, same products and same steps that we do for heat embossing, okay? Except I am going to, well, I'm going to move that out of my way. And then I'm going to bring this in. This is a pressure tool. We never sold this. You can get them on Etsy. And then it looks good, but I'm going to go over it again because this is watercolor paper. And so, again, it's very porous and very textured. And so sometimes if you want to have really definite designs, it's a good idea to go over them twice. That's why it's in the MISTI. Okay, so then I will carefully remove that. Don't let your magnets fight. You know they want to fight, and they will fight to the death. And usually your fingers in the middle. Not that it's ever happened to me, but okay. So here's this powder I was talking about that's retired. It's shimmer black. If you have it in your stash, let's see if it'll let it. There we go. Shimmer black, stamp and emboss powder. And I think we had it in black and white because I get them out at this time of year because we like all things shimmery, right? For this time of year. And here I am just putting that adhesive on, and that one's not working so well. It doesn't matter because thank goodness I have a backup.